Hello everyone, welcome again. Tariq Shrey with 01, your new channel for technical reviews, more in-depth, more focus on the technology itself. So, last video was about the iPad Pro 11. I chose the Space Gray 256 gigabyte storage because I thought that's what I would need for my on-the-go video editing, very light video editing. Obviously it has iMovie, also with the Apple Pencil too. So I got a case that is, as you can see, it is not the Apple case. This is an Amazon case that looks like one of Hubble's pictures. What I like about it is that it has a place for the pencil, but at the same time you can take the pencil and it will stick on top, and as you can see it will start charging it, and it will ask us to walk you through charging it. Let's go to camera 2 and show you what happens. Okay, so now it's charging. Here is the iPad with the new interface. So, why do I like it? I personally have had a great experience. I'm going to go ahead and take it out of the cover so we can talk about just the iPad. And taking it out of the cover is just pretty straightforward snap off. So we'll put that aside. Oh, and by the way, just so you know, it comes with a keyboard, Bluetooth keyboard that you can just pair with your iPad or anything else, and it will work just fine. I've tried it. It's pretty useful, pretty comfortable actually for a non-Apple. $28 off of Amazon for the keyboard and the case itself. So now back to where we were. Why do I like this? So released in 2018, it is 11-inch. It's got True Tone display, and you can definitely see that during setup there's an option that shows you what it will look like with True Tone display and without True Tone display. The processor is extremely impressive. My main objective was on the go, very light, quick video editing, especially with the USB-C. Let's go to camera 2 and I'll show you what USB-C 2 looks like. You see it? It's right there. So that means you can use a lot of the USB-C dongles that come with a MacBook Pro or any of the other devices and hook up HDMI, external USB flash, and obviously, let's see, I forgot. Oh, of course, then a USB-C type charger. The the pencil is definitely easier to charge. It lasts longer, and they've done a great job when you're trying to sketch, even type anything. And I'll try to take some screenshots with me jiggling or sketching. It is very easy for when you do your hand on the device. It detects that your hand is on there with the Apple Pencil writing. Given that it has the A12X Bionic, this is a 64-bit processor. Honestly, they've surpassed Intel at the manufacturing technology. This was made at, if I'm not mistaken, 7 nanometer manufacturing technology, while Intel, the world's leading microelectronics manufacturer, has experienced delays in updating their fabs to the latest and greatest 7 nanometer, even 11 nanometer. Only two of the fabs, as far as I know from my previous contacts at Intel when I worked there, are actually doing that. Camera, 12 megapixel. It has 4 gigabytes of RAM. The battery lasts pretty good, unless you stress it with something like video editing, or you watch a lot of YouTube. I talk to my online friends using Skype, and I open the camera a lot so that we can do video conferencing and do screen share. That's a battery drainage, so be careful for that. Running YouTube inside an application like Skype or Hangouts or any of the video conferencing applications that allow you to do share screen, and then you run something like YouTube and share it with your friends. That's a pretty heavy drainage. Not too many new applications that I noticed that come for the iPad are still yet optimized for the form factor, even though all the existing applications will work for the form factor, and not too many applications that have been optimized for the new processor and to take advantage of the 4 gigabytes. Note to you Android users, if you're watching, the memory optimizations that Apple have included in the Darwin kernel, which is the baseline OS for iOS, has a much better scheduler, memory management subsystem than Android, which is based on Linux. I'm a big fan of Linux. I worked on Linux for over 22 years. And yeah, Linux is not there yet. So when it comes to mobile operating systems, I am still convinced iOS is superior from a performance point of view perspective. User interface, that's debatable. My best friend Mo, who's my partner in this channel, is trying to convince me to switch my iPhone, which, sorry to sneak this up on you, but I have the iPhone XS Max. I went all out and got the 512 gigabytes of storage. I love it. I am like hooked to this phone. My previous phone only had 64 gigabytes of storage, so I was running out of room for applications. With this baby, with 512, not an issue, and then performance is easily 30% off. We're gonna do one of the episodes where we benchmark. I have an iPhone 6s, or if somebody's willing to lend us an iPhone X, compared to an iPhone XS or XS Max, and we'll see what it comes out to. So, I want to keep this video pretty quickly. Is this iPad worth what I paid for? Which was, surprisingly, with 256 gigabyte storage, space gray, no engraving, but with the Apple Pencil, I personally still get discounts for having been an employee of a certain high-tech company, and I am still covered under their retirement plan because I took early retirement. I get a slight discount. I paid altogether just a tad bit over $1,000. Is it worth $1,000 for this new iPad when for a couple hundred, 300 more you can get a MacBook Air, or for $600 more, which is hefty, like more than 50%, you can get a MacBook Pro 13-inch with an actual Intel Core i5 quad-core processor. If you're looking for mobility, if you're looking for weight, if you're looking for this form factor, and if you're looking for a touch screen with the ability for an Apple Pencil, I would definitely go with this. Definitely. It doesn't replace your MacBook Pro or your Windows laptop or even desk machine. My personal video editing platform is the iMac 27-inch 5K, and I was hoping that they would move to the 8th generation Intel processor, but I wasn't going to wait around. I needed a fast video editing processor machine, so I went and bought the 27-inch 5K with the 7th gen Core i7, and I upgraded it to a 40 gigabytes worth of RAM, and of course I got 512, but I have two, if not more, externally attached USB-C and USB 3.1, or USB 3, but 3.1 is my preference, external storage. That's where I keep all my videos, pre-production, post-productions. That's where I keep all my graphics assets, all my video assets. I don't use the on-device storage. So, in conclusion, if you are willing to, if you have the discretionary income or expense, or the discretionary funds, if you will, to spend $1,000 on this device with the Apple Pencil, and instead of going with the $170 Apple keyboard case, go with something cheaper like the Amazon, let's go to camera 2, with the Amazon Bluetooth keyboard and this case that has the place for the holder for the pencil. It was only 28 or 38 bucks. I would definitely encourage you to do that. Until then, until we do a more thorough review with a benchmark, please send us your comments. We are on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we are on YouTube. Please help us, please support the channel. I will be introducing more videos discussing the future of Apple and the future of the semiconductor industry when it comes to manufacturing of microprocessors, be it CPUs or GPUs. So Intel, AMD, NVIDIA, and of course all the ARM-based devices. Real quick, ARM is the blueprint company, and then Qualcomm, Apple, Newtek, a lot of Chinese companies, they actually license the designs from ARM, and they go and do their own customizations and do their own, for example, Snapdragon 845 or the A12X Bionic by Apple. Apple does take certain IPs, intellectual properties, for the manufacturing of all its processors from Qualcomm, but they seem to be having issues lately, so this might change. And I don't want to blow a secret. I know it's already out there on YouTube, but there is some hype or some discussion about Apple moving completely to its own in-house designed processors and replace the Intel processors. I am against that. I don't think Apple should do that. I don't think Apple will ever be ready, not within the next 5 years, to actually replace its desktop or laptop processors to in-house and completely shun or be done with Intel processors, Intel's general purpose processors, x86 architecture, moving from x86 back to RISC, reduced instruction set computing. That's a big move. We're talking compiler, we're talking recompiling all the applications. It's a big move. Sorry that, I kind of spoke about multiple issues in this episode, but I just wanted to prepare you for what's coming. Until then, please help us support this channel. If you like what you hear and what you see, subscribe, share, like, and out.